You begin, then you become. Believe, begin, become. There is no way how you can become without beginning. There is no way how you can begin without believing. So, Ugandans, let's believe in that kind of thinking. Then we begin, then we shall become. So I call upon everybody, Ugandan brothers and sisters, to condemn living in disorganized environment. We must appreciate to live in a place where there are flowers. We must appreciate places where have got trees, give you shade, and also helps you to purify the air you breathe in. That's why we must live symbiotically. So, any person who has trees, who has flowers, there's no how we can have a problem in terms of health. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate to live in organized environment with flowers around our homes, with trees by must in our homes, with accessible roads, with a place where we put our garbage, where we dispose our garbage, with a place where we channel the storm water, with all to avoid also living in places which are swampy. And if it is swampy, then it must be environmentally designed to make sure the water, the storm water, the existing clay and whatever, all are addressed, and they have somewhere where they don't affect the human beings settle. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a self-appointed advocate for organized living environment. It's a message for Ugandans, a message for my brothers and sisters, policymakers, to turn this country back to its glory of being part of Africa, but this time it should be part of the world. This refers to property values. It is easy to buy a plot at a cheaper price, but where have you bought it? In concept of the neighborhood. Those are questions one has to ask. If you don't ask yourself these questions, it will be very disastrous for you to start developing. Because value depends on the neighborhood. For instance, when you build a nice house and the neighbor puts a piggery project next to that, and another one puts a latrine, this definitely destroys the value of your property. These are what we call bad practices, because we have a very bad building practices here in Uganda, because everybody looks at himself, looks at his taste, but he does not care about having the uniform. One fails to have, he says, oh, that one has used blue, why should I use the blue iron sheet? I must put red in order to, to look different. Maybe I can cite an example. Just a friend of mine bought a plot cheaply, and he was so very happy. Then he went and constructed a house Very beautiful house. But the neighborhood was still virgin. There was nobody. Then he put a boundary wall, and he put that kind of stuff. But after he has constructed the house, now the neighbors started constructing their own houses. Actually, one of them was a witch doctor. He had put here his ancestral hearts, Another one is, because this man had constructed the house with tiles. The neighbor came and put on just white iron sheets. Then another one with blue. Then another one with green. The day, this man, it took me about 3 years. But when I went to see his home, I felt even interested. And the value of the house has gone down. So the value of the house collapsed. It is always very, very, very important. Even if a plot is 1 shilling, but consider what you are going to invest. Because you are investing 100 million, so many millions. Now at the end of the day, the neighborhood, you are not sure of it. Then they will come and destroy you. So you cannot shift your house. So it is very, very important to buy a plot in already a predetermined neighborhood. A neighborhood where the planning has been done, when the building regulations have been put in place, the neighborhood is already determined, and you know what kind of structures to put. If the houses are for flats, then they will be flats. If the houses are for bungalows, then they will be bungalows. If they are supposed to be roofed with tiles, then they will be tiles. If they are supposed to be roofed with iron sheets, then they will be iron sheets. If it's supposed to be roofed with grass, let it be roofed with grass. That's when you will have order. A pattern, you have a character of that development, and that makes a very friendly neighborhood. But if you find the one that has put a storage house, another one has put green, another one has put blue, you know that you are going to lose the value of your property, because the property will collapse immediately. By that establishment makes the property to be not to be attractive. And if it's not attractive, then definitely the value is low. So please, ladies and gentlemen, the housing developments must be according to a pattern, according to a designer. Short of that, then you are in trouble. Don't mind about it. I know at times people rush for purposes of a plot. Maybe a plot is 1 million, it's 2 million. He thinks that he has it. But now when it comes to building and the neighborhood is not predetermined, the neighborhood is not organized, the neighborhood has no control, the neighborhood has no pattern, then the value of the property you're going to put will be smashed, will be great, because you can't transfer the house. You will have already put that house there. So what will you do? The only thing is to sell it, but the one who is going to buy it will also buy it lower. But you put it in a place which is already organized with a pattern. The house will be shoot up like anything. It will just go up. But better if people should start buying homes through mortgage. And another message I can give is that this question of one trying to build his own house is very costly. Because you're going to build a house and use like 100 million and build a house which you're going to enjoy, sleep in and do whatever. And yet you can have something like 30 million, you go to a developer, you deposit there, you go to the bank, they give you a mortgage for the rest of the money, like say for 70 million. Now, 70 million that you will have saved, which you would have used in paying for 100% for the house, you can use it to establish something like a supermarket, or establish something like timber, something like any business can establish it to do something else. Then at the end of the day, the money that comes from that business keeps on servicing the mortgage as you also sleep. So you will be having, like, for instance, if for me, I have 100 million and it is the only money I have in life, the only thing I would do is not to go and buy a house of 100 million. But I would use something like 20 million, I go and sleep in a house of 100 million. And I will use something like 50 million, I go and establish a supermarket. I would use something like 10 million, I buy a nice car. Then at the end of the day, I have everything. I have the house, I have the car, I have the business, and I have the cash on the account. So that's why people from developed world are far better than ourselves. They have everything with small money. You find that someone has a house, it's on mortgage. A vehicle is on mortgage. Furniture is on mortgage. So at the end of the day, he has everything. And he's moving. But for you, you get all your 100 million, you buy a house, and you sleep in it, and you are on foot. You get me? You are miserable because you don't have cash. Buy a house through mortgages, you save a lot, and it is one way how you create wealth. So mortgages is priority number one. Point number two is that buy a plot or buy a house in already organized setup in a predetermined neighborhood. And again, you build according to also to create a pattern. If you find where you have bought a property, you find they are using a maroon iron sheets, use maroon iron sheets. If you find someone they are using tiles, also use tiles. So that you create a pattern.
Special thanks to the government of Uganda, NEMA, Akright Real Estate Developers, and to all those who devote their time to caring for our environment. Tell me why? Tell me why don't you like to live in beauty? With gardens of flowers, trees surrounding you at your own home. For it's been said, when you cut one tree, you plant two trees, preserving our forests. We shall overcome the deserts. We should stop cultivating, building on wetlands to allow purification and natural flow of water. Then we'll avoid floods, homeless people, and fatal diseases. Say no, 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 say no to the culture of accepting to live in that environment, this organized environment. Say no, 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 no. To develop, we need to be healthy and live in a clean environment. No more polluting lakes, rivers and streams. This is